First of all, thank you very much for let us to explain this project to all of you. And just a few words for Valgrai, which is doing a very important and enormous job to put the AI for us all around the world and let us to share those projects and our experience, because of it's very important to go beyond the capabilities of the university to join efforts with the enterprises. So thank you very much, Vicente and Anna, because of it's really a really great opportunity for us to be part of Valgrai. Then I want to introduce Ernesto Faubel. He's going to explain what is EDIC perform. He is the chair of the LDT Toolbox and also the head of the Smart City office in Valencia Council. And I'm Patricia, I'm the director of this project, the European LDT Toolbox project, and also I'm the director of innovation regarding products, digital products in Nunsys, my company. And Antonio Jara is sit there because of 3 here is too much, but he will come later to explain the use case that we want to show you. He is the technical director of the project, and also he is the innovation director in Libelium. It's the company which is forming the consortium, the main consortium in this project. So Ernesto, thank you.
First, good morning, welcome to Valencia, and thank you for inviting me to have this opportunity to talk about this EDIC on local digital twins towards CitiVERSE. I'm very honored to be sharing this stage with so prestigious keynote speakers, and now representing the City of Valencia, the Smart City Office, and at the same time the EDIC. I'm trying to give you, to share with you some highlights about this initiative. First, let me share with you some facts that are crucial for understanding the context in which we are developing all the work that we are doing related this topic and this initiative. The European Commission launched the Digital Decade policy program. That is a strategy for until 2030. And to carry out the projects, they have launched the Digital European Program. That, as you can see here, they have some lines, and one of them is for the implementation and deployment of digital technologies. In this frame, we have been working with one of the EDICs that the DigiConnect has launched. As you may know, there are up to now by 10 EDICs, each of them for one topic, and ours is for local digital twins and CitiVERSE. So then, as maybe you know this information, but first let me share for those who are not familiar with these topics, share with you some ideas, some facts that we find them relevant for understanding what we are talking about. Local digital twins are extremely powerful tools for decision-making processes, and there are some components. We are talking in the cities about digital twins, and even in other contexts, such as health and others. But for cities, local digital twins are a set of tools that are composed mainly by a virtual 3D representation, normally with high level of detail. You can even carry out some immersive walks, but this could be the first component. Second, and very relevant, is that this representation is connected to data, most of the time with real-time data. So with this, we have the material starting with, we could carry out some decision-making processes. But apart from that, we need some advanced analytic processes and artificial intelligence, and here is where we are related with artificial intelligence, not for the scope for research, mainly for the management of the city, and we are trying to develop AI algorithms for the management of the city. And apart from that, and very important, the fourth component would be the possibility of having simulation scenarios, so as to make it easier to carry out these decision-making processes. And there's another topic that is related with our EDIC, that is the CitiVERSE, that is maybe more abstract. You may have heard about metaverse. So this is a concept that has been launched by the Commission, by the European Commission, and is mainly related with the metaverse, but focus on citizens and citizenship, and cities and citizenship. So with that, we try to provide better services with new channels of communication with the citizenship, for example, with avatars, with hybrid models, and well, with this we could provide immersive experiences that could improve the user experience in relation with in our case, the local administration. Well, when we talk about digital twins, normally we could distinguish 3 levels of development, of maturity. First, the lowest one, that is quite relevant, but so as you can see, there are even higher level of development, is a descriptive one, in which we are describing, giving information about what is happening right now. So it's starting from, for example, from IoT devices, from sensors, and from systems from the municipality. We could input this information in the virtual 3D representation, and with that we could describe the status of the city at every moment. If we go on with the level of maturity, we would find the predictive ones, in which not only the model could describe the current situation, but also could predict what is going to happen in the next hours or in the next days, starting with from a lot of data, AI algorithms and stuff like this. So not only describing but also predicting. And the highest one, the highest level would be prescriptive. That is, so not only predict what is going to happen, but also trying to propose alternatives, ideas, measures that could improve or fix an eventual problem. So going more into depth into the EDIC, up to now we have 12 countries that have signed, because so as to put you in context, an EDIC is a multi-country project. It's one of the 3 tools that the Commission has launched for carrying out multi-country projects. One is joint undertaking, another is important projects of special interest, and the last, and I could say that is currently the most relevant one, are the EDICs. EDICs are European Digital Infrastructure Consortium, so as to carry out different topics. For example, there's an EDIC for blockchain, another for languages, another for mobility, and ours is for digital twins and CitiVERSE. Well, there's another about image for cancer. Up to now, as I have said, I have just mentioned, we have 10 EDICs. 2 of them are have their seat in Spain, and both of them have the seat in the city of Valencia. So currently, I could say that the momentum that we have in our city is very important, and we will try to take advantage of this situation. Because with this, the local innovation ecosystem could be very powerful. So with these tools, the Commission is trying to, in a way, outsource the management of different topics. In our case, this related to the local digital twins and CitiVERSE. Well, and then, as you can see here, we have 12 countries, but it's very relevant that the local digital twins, the main scope is not 4 countries. Even though we need the commitment from the countries to sign the notification and say, well, we want to be there. Apart from that, we need the cities, because at the end of the day, will be the main targets of the local digital twins and CitiVERSE. And then we are in the process of engaging cities in Europe so as to be part of this EDIC. And we are now trying to prepare kind of letter of interest so as to at least have the expressed interest from the cities to be part of this EDIC. And what is this for? What's the main purpose of the EDIC? Well, as you can see here, we have a lot of ideas, but first could be to create a powerful, common European infrastructure, digital infrastructure. Because up to now, the Commission has detected that most of the projects, at the end of the project, could have very relevant outcomes that finish in the drawers or are not useful once the project has finished. With this, we are trying to reuse the main outcomes from different projects. For example, now the Commission is managing an initiative for data spaces. And what will happen with this European data space once the project has finished? So with this EDIC, we could try to give continuity to different initiatives. But one of the items that we would like to highlight is the relevance of avoiding repetitions, not reinventing the wheel every time. So with this, at the end, in a nutshell, could be to create a very powerful ecosystem for smart cities and communities in Europe. So taking advantage of the reuse, of compiling different outcomes from different projects. And one of the main the digital infrastructures that we are going to manage is the one that Patricia and Antonio are going to talk about in a few minutes. So the Toolbox. Because what we are going to do, some aspect related to what I have just explained. So first, to develop a toolbox that is being developed by a consortium in which both Nunsys and Libellium are leading this consortium. And at the end, even though they will describe much better than me, we'll have a set of tools that the cities, but not only the most mature ones, but also the smallest, will be able to apply these tools so as to carry out their local digital twins and CitiVERSE projects. So it will be a very powerful set of tools in order to that. So it's very relevant for all these projects. One of the features that is only in our talks, the interoperability is very crucial for every project in which we are participating, the relevance of interoperability. And for example, in the concept of data spaces is one of the crucial points. So one of the things that we are going to do is to manage the calls that the Commission is going to launch in the years to come. So this year, they have just launched, and in fact, it's open right now, a call for the development of local digital twins, and this call has not been managed by the EDIC because it's not implemented yet. But the future ones, the Commission will allocate the funds and we will distribute within the different cities and members of the EDIC. So as I have said before, it's a kind of outsourcing of the management of the funds. So apart from that, we will carry out different ideas, different tasks, such as capacity building, certification, and things like that. Well, talking about the governance of the EDIC, we will have a General Assembly that will be the main body for the decisions that will be taken in the EDIC. As I have said, the seat is in Valencia, in La Harinera building. That is one of the newest buildings that have been devoted to the innovation ecosystem in Valencia. And up to now, I'm the chair of this assembly, even though the first real, actual General Assembly is expected to be carried out in November. Because now, I will explain in the last slide, but we are in the process of creation of this legal entity. But apart from this General Assembly, there will be a person that will be the director that will be in the day-to-day activities. So it will be a kind of manager of the EDIC. And we will work within two groups. One more technical, related to the infrastructures, that will manage, for example, the toolbox, the maintenance of the toolbox, and the consultancy processes for the cities so as to apply the tools of the toolbox. And another one related to the futures calls that will be managed by the EDIC. And we are closely related with other European initiatives such as Living in EU that we have considered in our statutes as one of the most relevant initiatives so as to act as a kind of advisory boards at different levels, not only for the top level of decision, that will be the Assembly, that we have, as you can see on the slide, on the right side, the Majors Assembly of Living in EU, but also at the other levels of decision or tasks. So this will be, in a nutshell, the governance bodies for the EDIC. And with whom we are planning to work with, initially with some other European initiatives, for example, Living in EU that I have just mentioned, that is an initiative for the process of the digital transition, for supporting the cities and communities in this digital transition, but also with innovation hubs. And also with Scalable Cities, that is a set of lighthouse projects in which we have been involved. For example, the City of Valencia has been coordinating one of them. It's a very powerful set of projects. And not to mention TEFs. In fact, we have one of the seats of one of the super nodes in the most relevant project for artificial intelligence applied to smart cities, that is Sitcom AI, in which UPV, Nunsys, Livelium, S2 Grupo are involved in this project. And we are detecting some synergies within these initiatives. And also with different networks at levels, or both at national level and international level. And if we talk about the future of the EDIC, it's not a project. It's not we are not planning an end of the project. We expect to have this EDIC with a not defined end. So we are trying to provide some ideas in order to make it sustainable. For example, with fees from the cities, every city that expressed the interest of being part of the EDIC should provide a very modest fee for 15,000 euros, that the return of investment will be extremely short. We expect that. Also managing calls, that we will keep part of the call so as for the management of them, with the projects with some sponsorship that could come from the private sector or others such as capacity building actions, events, and so on. And to finish with, I would like to highlight the timeline, because last year we have been working, the member states that have expressed the interest of being part of this EDIC. In an iterative process, we have defined and fine-tuned the statutes, and we have them finished by December last year. And then we expected first half of the year for the approval, the official approval from the European Commission, but it came very fast. So we had first two EDICs approved on 1st of February and published by the Commission on the 7th. So since then, we have the mandate to implement this EDIC in the city of Valencia. practicalities such as having a bank account and a PIC number, an ID, and we are in this process. In this case, every country has delegated the representation by different formats. For example, the Spanish government has delegated on Valencia municipality. So in this EDIC, we are the voice of Spain, and others have delegated on agencies or research institutes or even ministries directly, so different formats. But at the end, every member state has a representative. And now we are in this process of implementation of this legal entity, and during the following years, in parallel with the consortium that is developing the toolbox, we will manage all these aspects. Well, and that's all from my side. Thank you for the attention, and now I'd like to give the floor to my colleague Patricia, who is going to explain the local digital twin toolbox. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to take the presentation in this point because of the first 2 months that we have been developing the project were to define what is a local digital twin, because of every person had a different point of view. And that's very important because of right now, the cities, our customers, has this idea that they will have a 3D view of the city, and connected to that view, there will be a lot of services that will be working. At the beginning, maybe will be just simulation, but the objective is going through the operational tool to be able to manage some process of the city digitally. So that's very important because of understand what the customer needs is the base of our project. So this is the point. We are gonna create a 3D model of the city, and we will be able to connect different algorithms, different high-value products that will be running, making simulations, and also creating different capabilities and studies and information for the city. And the toolbox is the tool that is gonna enable to create those algorithms and models that will be running in this twin. So this is the objective. The tool will be a set of tools that will be in open source. So the cities will be able to create teams, technological teams in the smart cities areas to develop the twin, but also the private entities, any company, as an innovator, can also use this tool to create value for the city. It's very important to know what the city needs and then work in that direction. And one of the most important things of this project is not only the tools that we are going to create, and that they will be interoperable, and the different tools could work with other existing tools already in the market. That's phenomenal, but in my opinion, the most important thing is the market. You can see on top. The market that it's gonna be created. This market will have the algorithms, the models, and all the high-value products that we can create to the cities and also to the private companies in the long term. So right now we have the opportunity to follow this tool. It's a kind of framework, a kind of model, how we are going to create the twins, and how they can be in a market to be easily consumed for the whole Europe. If I'm going to invest something in an innovative solution for the city, I can expect to sell it also in all Europe. And that changes a lot the possibility to invest doing things for the cities. This is a very important point. Then, technically, the tool will provide the capability to create the algorithms, models, data sets, and also all following the regulations and a guideline that will help us to be able to share data between all the cities of Europe. Then right now, Antonio is working really hard in other projects to have the standard of sharing data and enabling that we will be able to have a very well done governance of those data, so our solutions, our algorithms, our jobs, or our works will be able to be used in the whole Europe. So this is very important. This capability will let us to create the developments that we need to solve the problems of the cities. This is a deeper view. We will have in that market data sets, we will have algorithms, and we will have receipts mixing different algorithms and models to create different combinations. So the local digital twin is a twin of twins, maybe, something like that. And also, the municipality will be able to create scenarios. In the first step, create scenarios to evaluate what the decisions that the city has to do in order to fulfill the objectives of the citizens is very important. And this is the tool that everyone right now in Europe is visualizing that can be and could be a very excellent asset to obtain that achievement. So forecasting the possibilities that we want to apply in the city, and also to ask to the citizens their opinion about that. It's very important to create a good product. The key of this toolbox is that it's very important that that market will be created because of it. We have a good market with good algorithms, with good solutions, able to solve the needs of the cities, then that will create business, and everyone will be able to develop the communities. So the market is very important. It's part of the sustainability, sorry, that one, well, you know, sustainability of the project. And it's very important that we need you. We need talent. Because of right now, nothing is done. Antonio can say that few cities in Europe has a very good working LDT doing something. So we need the talent to create all the, I like to say, the high value products, not only simulations, but to create and solve the needs of the cities. And the talent is right now in your hands. So please consider this project, the smart city, and all this huge ecosystem as a possibility in your development of your career. So, Antonio, I give you the floor.
Thank you. So thank you so much. So now you understand the political side coming from Ernesto. So now you understand the political aspect. Now you understand the technical background, but majority of you are developers. So the most important here, to be clear with the local digital twin toolbox, is that we are not reinventing the wheel, but at the same time, we are bringing a lot of new value, a new level of data set and characteristics that we offer several opportunities for all of you as developers, as entrepreneurs, as researchers that want to understand what else can be developed. So one of the very nice use cases, just to give you some inspiration, is, for example, that we will create an European building data set. What does it mean? It means that every building in Europe, absolutely every building in Europe, will be characterized. And will be an official database from the European Commission. Means that the house of your grandmother, your sister, when you're born, you will know exactly level of floor, year of construction, materials, and this is just amazing, all the kind of use cases you can build on top of that. If you complement this kind of databases that will cover all the European region with additional data sets that, for example, Valencia will offer, like, for example, water consumption of every building, of every house, will really require and enable a huge number of opportunities. And that is the reason because it's required a toolbox. That is the reason it's required this technology, because it's so high value what we are providing here that unfortunately we cannot provide to everybody. Only few institutions, researchers will have the access based on a policy control in a data governance, because, for example, when you have a big power, you have a big responsibility. And if, for example, you know exactly what is the water consumption of a house, can be very useful to understand who is living there, if they're active, but also is opposite. If you have a grown intention, you can also know what is not, when no one is there, what is the behavior. So we want to guarantee only the genuine and the right use are provided. And this particular is very relevant, is the European Building Data Set. We are creating building reconstruction cost models in order to understand, based on different databases and based on this European Building Data Set, what is the cost, for example, when you have a catastrophe, like a flooding of a city or any other kind of problem, how to understand. And for that purpose, as I mentioned, we have provide a full European building data set. There are already one version that you can start using and testing for your projects together with the University and Research Institute of HFC Potsdam. So they are really already enabling this capacity. We can know the geometry, the height, the cost of the construction, the different construction elements. And of course, we can continue evolving that in order to create, with machine learning, with different techniques, all the opportunity to really, really identify the different material. And for example, when you have a satellite picture or a drone picture, we have already the algorithms that are going to be publicly available to really identify the level of destruction of this area. So imagine all the number of use cases and opportunities when you can really have the granularity level of identifying every street, every building, and for these kind of use cases, for the ones we want the toolbox. And the motivation from Europe is obvious, is that we want to be a sustainable continent, the famous Green Deal, El Pacto Verde. So, and for all that, they want to guarantee that, for example, in a region like Valencia, what are the number of houses that can be optimized with solar energy? Simple question, how many houses in Valencia, they have the roof looking to the south? These are the kind of simple questions that today, unfortunately, you cannot answer so simply. And this is an example or algorithm that we want to do. So for this particular case, we want to guarantee and to monitor what is the damage status assessment. We want to monitor what is the reconstruction cost, and we want to do all the different aggregation to understand this impact. The first use case that is using, for example, this kind of algorithms, indeed is focused on flooding, etc., but it also is with human intervention, like, for example, the Ukraine situation. So all these are the real clear value. And you can see here how it works. We can identify a neighborhood, we can identify a specific area, and we will get with the algorithm exactly the location and the classification of the different buildings, and based on the other databases we have access, and we will simplify the access, we can know exactly what is in details in every building. So then it's very oriented to natural disaster. Today we have been training the model with different 9 types of natural disasters. We are extending this in different regions and different use cases. And for example, we are also collaborating with the other databases, for example, like Tabula from the Buildings and Architects Institute of Valencia, that is helping us to really understand the type of material, the cost, and there's a specific version of this for Ukraine, as I mentioned. So you can really go, do the mapping of the cost of every part, you can really mix all the information of the European database, the construction cost, the different material costs, and finally we can calculate the reconstruction cost. And this is unbelievable. This is the kind of algorithm that today United States plus European Commission are using to estimate what is the cost of reconstruction of Ukraine. It's the unique way to do it. It's because other way, without artificial intelligence, without satellite vision, you cannot really make a general estimation. You can be always under or over, so it's just the unique way to have a real understanding. Just as an example, here in Valencia, we can also estimate the cost for an earthquake. When you have a neighborhood, we can select a type of house. We can extrapolate and do the matchmaking of the house that you are identifying with the existing archetypes available in the databases. And based on all this, finally, we can go to all the costs, all the different material, and we can estimate what will be the cost of the reconstruction. And something so simple like telling you a number like 8,343 euros. And if we continue in the different levels, we can continue imagining different. Like this is an example where you can go, select the default view, identify the different buildings, identify the different locations. Indeed, this is all totally open. It's one of the first use cases of the toolbox. You can identify the damage view to identify what are the buildings that are damaged. And based on the identification, you can understand the level of damage, what is the kind of damage that is here, what is the also other information like the transversal view to understand the height, the reconstruction cost. So there is a very simple visualization to show you what is the kind of information that today, with the European building data set, is bringing. And this is only the beginning. We are talking about much more. We are talking about traffic, environmental pollution, tourism impact, new opportunities in living in the cities. So are all these the kind of use cases that we are developing and constructing. Okay? So thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to that you enjoy. As mentioned by, there's a lot of, please go ahead. There is a lot of talent, so you know already, everybody knows Boti, so Boti is part of this project, and you can join with him, join via Nunsys or Libelium or any other of the institution if you want to be part of this huge project. Okay, thank you.